Hi everyone, welcome back. Let's write some more Leetcode today. Today we are solving number of subarrays with odd sum. So a subarray is just an array that can be formed inside an array without having to skip the indexes. So 1 and 5 is not a subarray, but 1 and 3 can make a subarray of this array. So given an array of integers ARR, we want to return the number of subarrays with an odd sum. So if you look at this example, the output is 4, but because we can form 4 subarrays, which is 1, 1, 3, and 5, 3, and 5. If you look at this example, the output is 0 because you cannot form any subarrays with an odd sum. So now that we have seen some examples, let's get to how we can solve this problem. So the obvious brute force way that we can solve this problem is we can write a double for loop, and at each iteration, we will calculate a sum from the subarray of start to end, and if it is odd, then we will add 1 to the result, and finally, we will return the result, which is the number of odds. However, the time complexity of this approach would be O of n squared, so there's actually a more efficient way, and we can go over that way right now. So for the more efficient way, I will prove that this algorithm works by showing this example right here. So basically how this algorithm works is we will start up with 4 variables, prefix, sum, odd, even, and the result. And the proof is not part of the problem. It will just be my proof that this algorithm works. I will show all the subarrays that are included. But even starts as 1 because the number of prefix sum is 0 in the beginning, and that's an even number. But what we will do is we will iterate through this array, and at each iteration, we will add the current number to the prefix sum. And if the prefix sum is odd, then we will add the number of even to the result and increment odd by 1. If the prefix sum is even, then we will add the number of odd to the result and increment even by 1. And finally, at the end of the for loop, then we will return what the number on result is. So let's go over this example. Initially, we add 1. So 1 is odd. So we would add what's even to the result and increment odd by 1. So now we come to 2. We add 2 to prefix sum. So now the number is 3. 3 is odd. So we will add the number of even to the result and increment odd by 1. Even to result, so now is 2. Now we will add 3 to prefix sum. So the number is 6. 6 is even. So we will add the number of odd to the result and increment even by 1. So number of odd to result, which is 4. Now we come to 4. We add 4 to the prefix sum. It's even, so we add the number of odd to result, which is 6. And we increment even by 1, which is 3. Now we come to the number 5. We add 5 to the prefix sum. So now the prefix sum is 15. It is odd, so we increment odd by 1, but we add even to the result. So odd, add even to result, so now it's 9. Now we come to the number 6. Number 6, we add to 15, the number is 21. It is odd, so we increment odd by 1, and we add the number of even to the result, which is 12. Finally, we come to 7. We add 7 to the prefix sum, so now it's 28. It's an even number, increment even by 1. Then we add odd to the result, which is 16. So the time complexity would be O of n, where n is the number of elements in the array, because we need to iterate through each element once. And the space complexity would be O of 1 because we are not using any extra space. So now let's get to the coding part. So first we'll initialize the result to 0, the prefix sum to 0, the odd number to 0, and even to 1 because in the beginning prefix sum is even. So now we loop through the array. We calculate the prefix sum by adding the number. If it happens to be even, so divided by 2 is equal to 0. That means it's even. Then we will add odd to result and increment even by 1. And increment even by 1. Otherwise, if it is odd, so else, we will add the number of even to result and increment odd by 1. So we do the opposite. And finally, we will just return result by the number says in the description since it can be a very large number. So we have to mod that. Alright, let's see if it works. Okay, perfect. Thank you all for watching. I hope this was helpful. If you have any other questions or comments, feel free to leave it down in the comment section, and I hope to see you all again soon.